Now see a team of special operations personnel from Australia, Norway, and the United States preparing to conduct a helocast insertion into the channel using an MH-47 Chinook helicopter.
Hey, while they're loading, I'll go here. While they're loading, I'll talk.
These highly trained pilots can fly nearly 150 miles per hour, just a few feet off the ground, at night and in bad weather. The Chinook's range is 858 miles, and it features 4 gun stations. It is powered by 2 Textron turboshaft engines and is able to transport up to 54,000 pounds. We'll now see an MH-60 Black Hawk helicopter approaching the channel with Australian, Thai, and U.S. operators on board. They will execute a fast rope infiltration to eliminate an enemy sentry located on the barge you see in front of you. Trained in a variety of conventional explosives such as dynamite and C4, as well as improvised munitions and sabotage operations. Much like a real mission, because of limited time and no means to remove the items, the team will place C4 explosives with the time-delayed charge calculated to detonate after they leave the barge. This assault force is comprised of Army Green Berets, Navy SEALs, Air Force combat controllers, and Marine Corps special operators, and consists of personnel from Brazil, Canada, Jordan, Norway, Poland, the United Thailand. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look to the north end of the harbor, it looks like an enemy vessel. Is a high-speed, high-buoyancy, extreme weather craft, the primary mission of delivering U.S. Navy SEALs. Each craft is manned by a crew of 3 special warfare combatant craft crewmen and can carry 8 personnel. These boats perform short-range insertion and extraction missions, coastal resupply, It's also interesting to note that this craft is air-droppable by the C-5, C-17, and C-130 aircraft. 47's coming in. Yeah. Are they coming? Ladies and gentlemen, soon you will see an MH-60 Black Hawk helicopter returning to pick up the assaulters from the barge. they will use the Special Patrol Insertion and Extraction System to depart the area. This system is used for extracting personnel from areas where helicopters cannot land, such as dense jungle, aboard vessels at sea, and from atop buildings in urban areas. This is where they're going to blow it, right? As they fly away? They're going to blow it as they fly away? Ladies and gentlemen, as the helicopter flies away, oh, it looks like they were able to destroy the weapons cache.
So what do you want to talk about the GMBs? Wait. We go to the Chinook?
The MH-47 Chinook helicopter returning to pick up the personnel from the water. The personnel will be positioned in a straight line at approximately 5-meter intervals. The helicopter will fly low, drop out and drag an aluminum caving ladder, and fly down the line as each individual climbs into the aircraft.
Go ahead. Okay, Roger. I think it's worth talking now. I can use the Delta Queen stuff.
Something interesting to note is that the older version of this exfiltration method was called the Mississippi Delta Queen. With this method, the Chinook would lower the back ramp, immerse itself into the bay until the cargo compartment actually filled with water. And then the Zodiac and its crew would simply drive right up inside the helicopter. This was an extremely complex maneuver, only achievable by highly skilled special operation aviators. Due to the advanced avionics on board today's aircraft, this exfiltration method is no longer conducted. Another interesting fact to consider about today's event is that as impressive as all of this is, it's even more impressive when you consider that these teams had to merge different tactics, different techniques, different procedures from 10 different nations and overcome significant language barriers. And they choreographed all of this demonstration in just 4 days. These special operators truly are the best our countries have to offer. Four United States Marine Corps jumpers will exit a C-130 Hercules aircraft from approximately 6,000 feet and deploy their parachutes. They will assemble in the air and then land together in the channel in front of you. Considered to be one of the military's most demanding and potentially hazardous advanced skills, military free-fall parachute operations are used to infiltrate enemy areas under the cover of darkness to avoid detection. Parachutists land at their objective as a combat-ready tactical unit. Special operations military free-fall personnel are taught to conduct high-altitude, low-opening missions by exiting an aircraft at altitudes up to 35,000 feet. Typically, the parachutists free fall to about 2,500 feet from ground level before deploying their canopies. A similar activity is known as high-altitude, high-opening parachute missions, in which parachutists exit at high altitudes and deploy their canopies using highly maneuverable gliding parachute systems to silently travel distances of more than 50 kilometers. These highly trained individuals conduct military free-fall operations in the dead of night while fully loaded when in excess of 100 pounds of combat equipment and wearing special helmets and oxygen masks. The theme for this week's ISOF Week is Building the Global SOF Partnership and reflects U.S. Special Operations Command's efforts to strengthen existing and build new, enduring relationships among our international SOF partners.
Parachutists coming in, they're about at the top of the General Hospital. One of them's almost in the water again. He glides down softly, lands. Second one is in. Third one is about to enter the water. He does. And the fourth one comes down and lands.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a successful water jump. Fantastic.
Nobody can go away disappointed. That's awesome. He's firing off a few rounds. Shoot it up.
Looks like the mayor's having quite a bit of fun too.
The mayor knows how to have fun in a situation like this, believe me. We worked together on the mayor's job many times, giving cars out of control, then firing situations.
Finally, ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to meet our Special Operations Warriors and look at their equipment as they return to the Convention Center area. RIB operators and GMV operators will be available for you to meet and greet them. Thank you for attending today's event.
Pull it off. Well done. We just performed a helo cast at the back of the 47. We had 3 different nationalities performing that drill, and I think we managed to pull it off without too many hassles, so that was pretty good.
According to the narration, you guys had 4 days to get this all together and coordinate.
Yeah, that's correct.
How challenging was that?
Everyone sort of met up about 4 days ago, went through the plan, sort of shared our drills and shared our capabilities, and we put together a plan that we could all conform to, and I think we did pretty well finishing it, so yeah.
Language barrier, not an issue for you?
No, not so much for us. Apart from a lot of Americans not being able to understand the Australian accent for some reason. Apparently it's a whole different language. But apart from that, no, I didn't have too many issues.
The message of this entire convention is basically, a global partnership.
SOF partnership, yep.
Yeah. How important is that? Why is it so important?
I think as our enemies also advance continually, I think it's important to stay kind of on top of that, and you're not going to do that without building relationships with our allies. So that's what this week was all about. It was sticking and building further relationships with our allies and really getting that bond that you don't get unless you're side by side next to your mate jumping out the back of a helicopter.
I myself was a member of Assault Team 1, and our job was to secure the outlying pier and provide a layer of security for the main raid force. And that's
some other countries coming together in the last 4 days. How difficult was it putting this together?
People would think that it was difficult, but for us, it really wasn't that hard. Our forces showed up extremely compatible as it was, because everyone's extremely professional. And in this kind of community, you have a lot of dynamic problem-solving kind of personalities. So even if someone might not understand what's going on verbally, they can identify the problem and get in where they fit in and make it work. And then once we get that down, we just go into repetition after repetition of the same thing, and you get what you saw today. So a lot of camaraderie. You learn a lot from each other because we all have similar capabilities, but we have very varying experiences. And with those experiences comes all kinds of different ways of doing things. And take some, leave some, but it's always good to know those things.
And why is it so important to partner with other nations as far as Special Operations Forces is concerned?
Because like I said, we share common enemies, and our enemy is a worldwide enemy, and so we need worldwide allies, and so that's the reason why we get with these other countries and we give and take, ways of doing things, different tactics and procedures.
Yes, the record right.
At the